This is the era, friends, where we all want to be able to communicate our thoughts effectively to the world. It is a productive skill. We have four basic language skills: reading, writing, speaking, and listening. These are powerful skills, and speaking is one of such productive skills that you must learn if you want to be able to communicate your ideas to the world, you want to become a public speaker, you want to be able to present keynote speeches, right? You want to be able to do amazing things in your world. This is it. It is necessary that you build your speaking capacity. It was also my quest many years ago. While I started deliberating on the need for me to become an impact maker, yes, because it has always been my core, my passion, my interest. Of course, I started off in church, being a Sunday school teacher for several years. I still do that up until now. I really wanted to see how I express my thoughts brilliantly. And if you're listening to me right now, I believe that's why you are here. Welcome on board. I'm your friend, I'm your sister on this journey. I'm going to be sharing a few thoughts with you on this video on how reading has been able to transform my life, how I became a better speaker through the capacity I built in my reading life. I'm going to be sharing with you a 4-step framework that will help you take your ability to articulate your speaking life to the next level so that you can finally be able to communicate to the people that you need to bless, articulate expressly, and do the needful in your life. Hello friends, if today is the first time listening to me, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Faith Michael. I help individuals and professionals optimize their potentials for impact, income, and influence. Welcome on board. So let's get right into the conversation. As a young girl growing up in a remote environment with my grandmother, it wasn't my grandparents, I would say. It wasn't really easy not having access to a lot of things, social amenities, electricity, TV, and a whole lot more. Not having access to all of those things really was enough to stop me so that I'm not able to become the person that I am today. Today, I speak to a lot of people across the world by the grace of God. I am able to impact tens of thousands of people. Over the years, since I stepped into the impact space as a thought leader and a coach, it has been an amazing journey. And if you are listening to me right now, you're like, Coach Faith, I really want to impart my word. There is this calling within, but I find it very difficult to express myself. Friends, reading can become a tool that you can use as an avenue to be able to build your capacity at that level. So I'm going to be sharing with you my step-by-step framework. Number one thing you have to begin to look out for while trying to build capacity as a speaker using reading as your number one tool, you have to choose the right books. I see a lot of times people read, they don't read the right books, so they struggle through the vocabulary of the author, they struggle through the rhetoric expressions, the style, the structure, and a whole lot more in the book, which is really a challenge. So I want to encourage you going forward, if you have a target of becoming an exceptional speaker, of being able to articulate your thought, communicate your vision to stakeholders, to partners, to leaders, to people who are deliberately really just looking up to you for something meaningful, I'd like you to begin to choose the right books going forward. Choose books that are in alignment to your interests, to your field of endeavor part time. With that, you are able to zone in, you are able to get into the state of flow, you are able to do the needful, you are able to stay connected to reading for the longest of time. And that is not just enough, you are able to connect to the words of the author. You are able to connect to their expressions, which is really a very first step to take if you really want to take your speaking to the next level. Who doesn't want to? Choose the right book. The number 2 point I want to share with you is the fact that you should become an active reader. Active reading is active learning. In my book, Effective Reading Habits, I spoke so much about the need for you to become very active when it comes to learning, when it comes to reading. Alright, that is simply about being intentional with a book. That's what it is. Alright, there are several ways to become active in reading. I have been reading self-help books since 2010, 2011. I've been doing that, but I really became deliberate back in 2017 when I started off as an active reader. How did that work? I started off with my Real Leaders book club community, where I started to review books. I also had a blog. I'll review books, I'll summarize, I'll talk about it to the people, I'll discuss books with people. It really became a game changer. And even as a bookseller, I would always have conversations with my customers, talk to them about the ideas in the books that they were going to buy, because before that time, I would have gone through the book, skimmed the book to a level to really be able to communicate the thought of the author effectively. So active reading really helped me a lot, and that I think you should begin to practice. After choosing the right book, become very active. Make sure you take notes, make sure you summarize, review what you've learned, review your lessons, discuss it with your friends, discuss key ideas with friends and see how you're going to express a shift. That is it. The next thing you have to begin to do, friends, is practice. Yes, practice, practice, practice. You have to practice speaking. If you want to use reading as a tool to speak well, friends, practice speaking. Do you get that? So when you get those ideas from the book that you are reading, practice them. Begin to deliberately lift up words from the book that you've read, phrases, sentences. Use them in your deliveries. Use them in your next conversation. Be deliberate about them. Sometimes you just have to scribble them somewhere and begin to use them in your next line of conversation. By the time you do that deliberately and you continue across board with all other books that you're going to be reading after, trust me, in the next 3 months, in the next 6 months, the speaking is going to experience a major shift. Trust me, that is it. You have to begin to practice. Then the last one I want to share with you is that you have to also seek for feedback. Feedback is important. Thank God for the era that we're in. We also have what we call coaches right now. Yes, people like Coach Faith, they can reach out to. You want to speak well. You love a coach. You love a thought leader. You love a friend who speaks so well. All right. And you want to get their feedback. Maybe you are going for a presentation. I could remember one of my wonderful friends, all right, who would always tell me after each presentation, oh, Fred, you didn't say that well. You were supposed to say it this way. And I will learn. I will say it well the next time. Sometimes it may even seem like we're joking about it, but I'll take it up seriously because I know that I'm going somewhere to happen. Like we would always say, I want to be able to communicate my thoughts, and that I still do up until today, friends. It is important. If you want to take your transformation to the next level, you must follow my CAP framework. That's like CAPS. You have to choose the right book. You have to be able to stay active as a reader. Active reading, that's the A there. You've got to practice, practice, practice. And then the S there is what? You've got to seek for feedback that is necessary. Feedback mechanism is important for you to scale. Don't do this in isolation. Sometimes you can even seek your own feedback. How do you do that? Record yourself. I did this a lot, and in fact, it is even now I have become my own fan. I love to listen to myself now. But before this time, prior to this time, it wasn't like that. So you have to learn how to begin to record yourself, listen to yourself, and don't repeat the errors that you have made this time in your next conversation. Do you get that? It is really very important. The CAP framework. This is my guide, my step-by-step guide to ensure that you're able to use reading to transform your life as a speaker so they can become the next Liz Brown, the next late Miles Moran. Yeah, it is possible. And you can even do better because you practice. All right? I want you to work with this structure. It is going to enable you. Thank you so much for stopping by, friends. Once again, my name is Faith Michael. I'm the Life Optimization Coach. I help individuals like you optimize their potentials for impact, income, and influence. If you'd like to take your transformation to the next level, please check the description. Make sure you join my Telegram community where we constantly have conversations around books, personal growth and development so that you can finally be able to live the life of your dream. I love you and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.